Hello everyone, this is a response to Six the Goddess's lives about me, made on July 10th and at the end of her live video made on July the 18th about me. There were a lot of untruths told about me and misunderstandings, so I'm here to show receipts and clear everything up. I first became a Patreona in January or February of 2023. February of 2023 was also the first time that I met Six the Goddess in person. She was so sweet and kind to me and when we first met, and always remarked that I was so beautiful. We had a consultation afterward, and I honestly thought that she liked me. I was under the impression that when she gives consultation, she gives her raw, honest opinion about you and your situation. Aside from saying that I was overweight and giving me a workout regime, she really didn't have much else negative to say about me. I believe my weight was between the mid to late 190s when I first met her, or maybe 200, but definitely no more than 205 for sure. I can't remember the exact weight, but though it was between 190 and 205. Fast forward to the June 2023 trip. Note to everyone, I am in the blue dress in the videos. She wasn't happy about the fact that I wore kitten heels to the first get together. It was a terrible mistake for me to wear them, but aside from that, she still showed positive vibes, love, and even told me that I was so beautiful and I was one of those rare women who didn't need foundation. I was shocked to hear her say that because she is so big on foundation. So it was shocking for me to hear her say in the live that I was ugly and looked like a trash lady, while everyone else was looking good. I did my own hair. The style that I'm wearing in the photos are faux locks, which she also trashed in the live. She was honest with me about saying that my hair looked like I didn't try during our next consultation following the June 2023 trip. I did have to stop participating in group activities on the final day of the trip because my money was running low, and I did tell her that. That is due to the fact that I accidentally booked a non-refundable hotel for 5 days at the Marriott before hearing her say that we were all supposed to stay at the Hampton Hotel. So I couldn't cancel my booking, but another Patreona asked me to go half with her on a room at the original hotel where we were all supposed to be staying at. I was already overspending for the trip accommodations because I paid for two hotels, the Marriott plus going half with another Patreona on the Hampton. So I didn't have enough to go to a salon and get my hair done professionally. Um, so I ended up doing my hair myself. I did take the train from Atlanta to my home state, and it was the first time that I ever used Amtrak. I'm not sure how she found out that I took the train because I don't remember telling her that. It must have been the person that I roomed with. Anyway, I never got any vibe from anyone on the trip that I was rude, and I don't remember complaining on the trip at all. I actually loved all of our activities. After the trip, I got a consultation with Six the Goddess, and she never once told me that she thought I was rude or that anyone else told her that. If anything, she said I was so sweet. So I'm confused as to how I was rude, except for showing up with kitten heels and saying that after she said not to wear them, and her being dissatisfied with my appearance. So, listening to her live about me, I was stunned to hear that what she really thought of me the entire time. I was confused about why she never directly told me these things in private because I really had no idea there was a problem, and why she was glad that I left the group in October 2023. By the way, I left the group due to difficult circumstances that made me extremely depressed in my personal life, and a certain person in the Patreon that I felt was making it difficult for me to grow. I was trying to cut out as much toxic energy from my life as I could because I was overloaded with enemies in my personal life, loss of personal relationships, and I didn't return until either May or June of 2024, which is very recent. During the time that I was gone between October 2023 to June 2024, I had gained 30 pounds from my depression and emotional eating. I missed out on her wedding and parties, and I tried to catch up on what I missed on the Patreon when I came back. I joined movie night for the first time in almost a year when I commented in the chat for the first time. So when she commented in the chat for the first time and addressed me, telling me that I didn't have to watch if I didn't like it, I was shocked again. Most of my comments, like everyone else's, were addressing the characters. I was referencing the way the dating show was put together by the directors and producers when I commented only once, "This show is so stupid." Perhaps I shouldn't have just left the Zoom and ended my membership, but I simply didn't feel welcome there. I don't like to dwell in places where I'm not welcome, so I always leave. Before I left, I sent this message to her on Patreon, after which I canceled and blocked her on Patreon. Feel free to pause and read in order to see for yourself. A day or so later, I messaged her on Facebook, as you can see on the screen. I will admit I was still very much in my feelings, so feel free to pause and read. Eventually, I blocked her on Facebook too. I decided to move on and listen to other content creators. I believe 1 or 2 weeks went by when I ran into a guy dilemma in my dating life, and I realized that I needed advice. There was only one person who I knew I could ask and get really good advice. I didn't want to do it, but I told myself to swallow my pride and turn back around and go get the advice. So I booked 2 consultations. 2, because I knew it would take an hour to catch her up on why I'd been gone and missed out on everything, and also to get advice on the guys that I was talking to. I may have brought up the time I might have brought up the time that I left the Zoom movie night, but I was long over that, and I didn't really care about it anymore. I thought she was over it too. I had no idea that it bothered her so much that she'd made a 3-hour live bashing and degrading me. I didn't even see that live, and it was blindsided by when she canceled my consultations. So here are the messages sent between us. Feel free to pause and read. I'm showing screenshots because the way that she described the text messages between us were inaccurate. She added words in the messages that I didn't say. She just kind of like twisted my motives. So I'm showing receipts and screenshots so that you guys can get a clear picture of what really happened versus her version of the story. Once she made it clear that she wanted nothing to do with me, I decided to wipe the slate clean in the most polite way that I could and be a distant fan and pretend we never met. I was hurt, but I tried not to harbor any ill feelings toward her and simply follow other platforms while still following her without being noticed for the sake of my own peace. I listened to the live she made on July the 18th, and she actually answered my questions that I had for the consultation as far as my guy issues for practically free. All was dandy until towards the end of that live when I noticed her almost doxing me and airing out all of our text messages, trash talking me toward the end of the live. I was stunned, but I listened closely because I've been curious as to why she canceled since she didn't really give an explanation in the text messages. I was even more shook to hear that she made another live about me in the previous Get Ready With Me video. While I was listening for the first time, or when I was listening to the first one, I sent her these text messages in response. Feel free to pause and read. Then I watched the second live that she titled "It's All Your Fault." I was overwhelmed by all the lies she was telling and implying about me, from claiming that I tried to outsmart her, to implying that I'm a thief and that I can't afford anything, to claiming that I'm slow, which I'm not, by the way. I do have mental health diagnoses, which I may as well disclose since she basically slandered me. So I'm diagnosed with severe PTSD, depression, and anxiety, and I have been getting therapy and medications for those disorders. I have never been slow, and in fact, I've always been very advanced for my age growing up academically, and I never even had a tutor until I was old enough to sign myself up for it. She claimed that I never accomplished anything for myself, which is also a lie. I've actually accomplished quite a few things in my lifetime, from graduating from college to finishing a military career, And I released original music on iTunes, Amazon, etc. when I was in my early 20s. By the way, I'm now 31. And that's just to name a few things that I've done in my life. But anyway, she claimed that I spoke on things in Discord that I never experienced, which is another lie. I have a ton of life experience within my 3 decades and some change of living. I may not have specified, but I have either lived in close proximity or experienced for myself everything that I spoke of. She seems to have this weird delusion that my world and everyone else's world revolves around her. I didn't care too much about her until I saw the lives that she posted trashing and slandering me. So, in response to the Get Ready With Me titled It's All Your Fault, I sent her these text messages. Very lengthy, I know, but so was her live about me, and she had a lot to say about me, so I had a lot to say to her in response. Feel free to pause and read. So, in conclusion to all of this, I feel that Six the Goddess pretended to like me and be genuine the entire time that I knew her, only to expose her true feelings about me to everyone in the most degrading, humiliating, and disrespectful way. I thought that she was an honorable, trustworthy person, but now I see that she isn't. She cannot be counted on to keep your information confidential. She can't be trusted not to dox you whenever she has a change in her emotions. She is truly the only female content creator that I've ever followed to have so many issues with so many other content creators. She's the most disrespectful female content creator I've ever seen. And now I understand why people call her a narcissist. She isn't the victim in these situations. She created these scenarios for herself only to play victim when the consequences came to bite her. I just wanted to tell my side of the story about the conflict between us. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below, and thanks for watching.